Oh, you're welcome. Bye. I don't like a lot of talk.
Okay,
I like
so
action.
what we really want to do,
Okay.
what we really want to do with One Voice now is once we get a consensus that we want to move forward with it. And I'm looking at the database. Back in the day, there was a job database, and now that's gone. So what other base do we have other than registered voters,
You just spoke on a couple of them.
people
The
that
station and the radio.
people that are in the data for income tax? That might be a way for us. And then we put a campaign out and say, if you want to be part of this, just like the police chief did with Tip. If you want to be a part of this, here's the app.
Come to this page and register. Or like this page and share.
So it's something that we have to, it has to come out of committee. And to come out of committee, we need to have more conversation.
Because this is something that he's trying to attach to government, so that makes sense.
So can one of the commissioners do like a little video talking about it and then
Yeah.
do a little tutorial or whatever of how to work it?
Well, he's been here before, but we're gonna let our city manager put his magic to it and look at it and see what we can do and how we can do it in the easiest and the most efficient way. That's what they do. That's what he do.
We got a Facebook page up and running too, right?
Yeah, we do.
But we wouldn't want to confuse the two.
No,
We would want something
no.
separate because it's a totally different
Because
cause.
this is just the avenue to have a conversation. So if we say, well, what do you think about, if you wanna have, the halfway houses in your community? Then you can come on and say, yes, I like that idea, or no, I don't like it, and somewhere along the line, there has to be somebody that monitors that conversation. So here comes another opportunity for a job or a stipend, for somebody that's out in our community there right now, and smoking blunts and drinking 40s, they're trying to stay out of it completely.
But they're approachable. And not only
Yes, we
that,
are.
this is a campaign season and a lot of door knocking is going on. If we can get a petition started, we can possibly approach some of these people with the help of everybody that was and is and should be still helping out with getting people registered to vote. And trying to reach those very same people. And I will get with Ms. Gavin because she's pretty good at starting an online petition to see if we could gather as many signatures as possible for One Voice Now.
We don't need any signatures, we just need a consensus of 5 people on this board. We don't need the people, because when we make the decision that it's something good and we take it to the people, just like when the chief
To be able to put it on the ballot.
we don't need to put
No,
it.
you didn't, no, let me back up. For it to come through government, or for government to even have any involvement, what would be the point unless it's something that we're gonna put on the ballot? Because it's something that we want not only the state, but nationally attention drawn to, because it's one way for us to be heard in Washington.
We don't need to put it on the ballot though, Commissioner.
Just asking you to think outside the box. Well, what is it gonna do? Stay stuck in a folder somewhere?
No, it's not.
I have a solution.
I
I can wait till my turn comes up, but I have.
No, honey, you have to take it.
what is it?
Well,
We're having a conversation here and you're part of it.
okay, well, it goes into why I'm here. You know, I've been listening and looking at all these YouTube videos about all these committees talking about this and that, needing new board members because there's vacancies. We need to implement youth again. bring them in, let them have ownership in this community, and let's get things going the way it used to be. Summer programs, we've also talked about from A to Z of what's going on. My solution is, I think that now is time for the city government to implement their own community outreach director. This way, that solves a lot of things. It protects the city. It allows us to cooperate and partner with other organizations where it may not be a branch of this government. It may be us partnering, or it's really writing a letter of support toward that. We're talking about communications. Everything we do should be communicated. And that's what I was coming before you today. I was coming before you to talk about one, water, because it's serious. Two, the city government or communications strategy. Everything we're talking about should be a strategic plan. I walked in and the gentleman who was on the phone, what did he say? Strategic. We have to be strategic. We can't just throw it out there and do this and do that. We have to look at a schedule. We have to look at what works best for us at this given time. And when I'm watching these YouTube videos, that's what we're doing. We're throwing this, someone says something, but nothing ever gets followed through. And then our community, the residents, the stakeholders are sitting back watching this, and they're saying, okay, there must be a strategic plan. And that's where this communications arm comes in, where it's not just like in the past, disrespecting this body of units, which always really bothered me, because communication starts and ends. It starts with hello and it ends with thank you.
Okay.
You know, and why this body had been disregarded when it is one of the most important. We'll talk about water, which is, I'm on the agenda for that. But I want to stay focused because it's a round table about, again, I came at the last minute. But my solution is being strategic. Having a person who carries out Commissioner Henry's wishes and her plan, carries out Commissioner Henry and the rest of this council. But more importantly, they listen. Their first step is to listen to the residents of this city, is hear their ideas. There's some awesome individuals, from Mrs. Fannie Owens, who's going to be 100 in September, to the smallest pre-K student who can tell us a little something and give us advice. You know, and when it comes to the community block grant funding, it says, if you read it, it should be coming from the residents. HUD says it comes from the resident, and then it's moved forward. So for this arm of community outreach, community, whatever we want to call it, consultant or whatever, it would help with so many different areas that we're trying to address. I don't, get out the vote is important, but especially when we look at 7 or 8% in the last election, but there are organizations we can lend our support to. We can uplift them through this community director. Block grants, implementing those where they feel comfortable and safe by joining the block grant, because they know it's a real strategic plan for them to get out and take ownership of their blocks or their wards or community. So there's so many things we can talk about, and I haven't even hit the water yet. I came here to talk about communications overall. I came here to talk about multimedia vehicles that we have or that we can implement. Someone just talked about how we can hire a young person, a stipend or somewhere, where all of that is incorporated in our plan moving forward. We may not do everything at once, but we'll have a tier 1, 2, 3, 4, where we can start slow and then soar up. And watch the residents and other stakeholders. When you start talking about we want the nation to know what we're doing, that community person sends out press announcements and press releases. Now every time we're on the news, television, it's about something that went wrong. We have greatness coming out of this community. And I'm here to tell people there is greatness coming out of 200 Wall Street. But all they get, 57 and all the rest of them, is what went wrong. This happened. But are they hearing about the good things? Are they hearing about step by step of the street improvements? Are they hearing about, I was told when I came in September of 2018, I sent an email and a proposal to the council, was sent to the former city manager. He said it was mandated for this city to educate the residents about water. That has yet to happen. And I had a one-on-one with him. He said at that time that he would be contacting me as soon as the first results were returned from the testers regarding our water.
You're down here.
This
Your phone
is
probably
August
ringing.
2019, and we're going into September. It will be a year soon. We have not been educated. You can't just plot something on a website and think that Ms. Johnson can spend $69 a month for internet. You know, and I'm not saying that the Benton Spirit or the radio stations or the internet is the only avenue. It's when we collectively come together. What does that mean? Say it's one. We come together as one. We look at all the tools we have in front of us. He mentioned Facebook, even on Facebook. And I think it's essential that we start collecting our own data. You know, that was brought up heavily when they started telling us that 11th graders who graduated from Benton Harbor couldn't read or write. And we knew they could. We know some of the universities they're at, not locally, but around this United States of America, and some of the top schools, because they were going by the data they had. Now, we should start collecting our own data.
We had,
But where is it?
We
Where
had,
is
but-
strategically?
we lost our scholars through the university because Ms. Triplett didn't bother to get back with me for those that were supposed to be assigned to us.
And you know what we do?
But that's okay.
That's not the only university. That's not the
Exactly, we
only
have some others at our
graduate students.
disposal.
And let's keep it going. We should never
Yeah.
have just one app.
Yeah,
It should never just be a Benton
Yeah.
Spirit. It should never just be WV, 105.3. It needs to be a collective.
and not only that though, I think we set the wrong precedents when I mean, there's nothing wrong with offering a youth a stipend or something, but I think that they need to learn something about voluntary stuff, which is why I want so badly to put together a youth department. We have a basement downstairs that needs to be fixed up, and they need to start watching and learning and doing some things and being more involved to make government work and make sure that it's working for them. We get very little.
And I am so for youth.
Yeah.
But when a young person makes more than his mom and his daddy,
Yeah,
and he goes home,
yeah,
again, I think we should look across the board.
yeah,
I love how we can do things when it's a family unit.
yeah.
When I wanted to do our gardening and I wanted to bring in financial literacy, that part of gardening with financial literacy was gonna be families in those little Amish homes on corners,
Yeah.
selling products and making money, and First Source Bank or some other financial institution working with them about financial literacy and what that means, as well as health and nutrition. But it had to be a family unit where the dad is right there. This young man who's been helping me for $20 a day. And I know I'm working like crazy.
Look, I got a little one that stops by my house and I pay this kid swell. But to not do things in a manner in which you're respectful of what I allow you to use, which is my property, and then you do your job, and before you're even done, you're knocking on the door 10 times. I mean, it's bad ethics on what they're learning.
But the point
There's no learning there.
It's about communication. It's about
That's what I'm saying, you don't too quickly give, it's something that needs to be earned.
When the young people, I
We
show
used to
them
be
what I
bears in
want.
the field, but
I show them what I want them to do, because I know there's probably not father or uncle or somebody in the family to teach them. So everybody want my yard ready? I said, this is the way you do it, and then I come back and say, oh, that's a good job. Now, this is how you finish up. So, then I pay them. And if they're regular, I tell them, I'll give you $20, I wanna see $2 in your checking, in your savings account. I don't let them just, because these are my babies.
And you know what she just described? Commissioner Henry just described the program that we could bring. Where not another entity is writing a grant off of our statistics, and they're leaving at 445. We don't know where the real money's going. You know, we only know about the little stipend and the one maybe person they hired. You know, she just described a program that collectively
That
we
is the
can make
foundation.
happen. And collectively, we're here for the communications committee meeting.
Yeah.
We now communicate to the world what that program is about and how this commissioner
It
has
would take
been going
time,
out there doing this for a long time. And now we've turned it into something. I don't know when you sleep, Commissioner Adams, but I don't know. I don't think you sleep. Look, all these ideas you had, you know, look how long you've been on the committee, you guys have been here. I mean, we can take all of this, but we must be strategic in how we tell our story.
Yeah.
Educating, inspiring.
I like what you just
empowering.
said because you just reminded me of something that I'm going to go back to because I think it was strategic, very strategic when Eleanor got together and put together a petition and people were signing it, at least those that were on Facebook or social media. This thing got legs and the people's voices were heard. I mean, but that's just one avenue because we need to be looking at all avenues.
And if it's coming from this
Strategic.
body, there is a way we must
Yeah.
be inclusive.
Yeah.
We must be respectful, we must be legal. This is a business for the people and the stakeholders of this community. So it takes a whole different tone when it's coming from this body. So communications, we can still accept other ideas and support other programs, but there are things right here that this communication, when I started seeing YouTube, all I can say is, Commissioner Henry, thank you. You know, we can see our government now without physically being here.
We fought how long march that they made. God, I want to chime in.
We fought how long?
They be tearing us up.
6, 7 years? 6, 7 years to get something up and running?
Longer than that,
Yeah.
longer than that. And to top everything off, I heard you say, sister, that one entity is not gonna solve it. But we got the entity actually in this room. Your newspaper should have, no, that's not how I want to start that conversation off. I want to say, your newspaper is one of the greatest newspapers in Ben Harbor that's ever been here. And I like to see it where it had 2 pages, 1 page for senior concerns and for youth concerns, where they can call in, they can be wrote in, put in the paper, everybody know the concerns. You don't have to ask the people what they want. It's a way that they can voice their concern and maybe get answers to the same questions that we've been here for, to feel like hundreds of years, trying to get and getting dissed in so many ways. Man, I got bullet holes in all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So I saw how they actually drain this place with the citizens. Send them to the township, send them up out of here smoking because they didn't have the time or the energy to want to sit up and wrestle with the bears. You know what I'm saying? So, but to help the community, I think that would be a great idea. We don't have a real voice because it's not set up yet and it's taken forever to do that. And I got the floor right now. I got 25 more minutes. You guys had the floor for a long time. But I like that. I like us being able to come together and talk. And we got Superman over there. So I believe in us. And I believe in everything that we do in a meeting like this. They say one person show up at a meeting, that's not enough. I don't feel that way, and a lot of people don't either. I make a point of coming to the meetings so I can sit in the meetings, whether I even know what they're talking about or not. But I find out, but I like to see citizen total involvement in this whole picture. I like to see all the commissioners I got cut off by your mayor.
I'm gonna cut you off.
Well, I got one more thing to say, but you just took it up. I have a problem, and I try to hold on to everything, and I held
Well,
up to
come
you
back.
guys.
Come back to it. It'll come back to you. But I want to say this about Ms. Tobias,
Yes.
I really know that you are into our communication. You got a leg of it already, and it's standing up tall for years. So, of course, we're gonna find some way to incorporate your skills and all the experience that you have. And this is a new day for Benton Harbor. It's none of this is a new day, and we're gonna do things in a different manner from now
Mr. Duncan hit it right on the board though, because when Princella first started, and I got to see in her newspaper, I'm like, shoot, this could be, the next best thing to age, because I don't even buy it anymore. I would buy the Benton Spirit because it's something more that I can relate to. Visualize we have some youth that are able to listen to a scanner and get somewhere on site in location.
Well,
And
I
do the
asked you
news.
too much.
No, and I'm just overwhelmed, and I'm also very humbled, because it's been 17 years.
Okay?
And
I've
see, this is
watched.
how this country was built, not giving up.
Right.
There's been too many times where I haven't had money to pay all the bills, but I've always paid all the bills. I've always paid for every single person who's worked for me, and I've always been there to help pay for the papers. But you know, it has never really, well, I should say never. I've been so blessed in so many ways. I would tell you that today I'm blessed by being in this room, but I haven't given up. I haven't given up when they tried to, when they threatened me, when they told me they were gonna run me out of town, when they slandered my name and talked about me like a dog, and I'm like, what? I didn't give up when they stopped advertising with me, even though the 2012 Governor Granholm Communications Report, I told you, was the #1 recommendation. But we had in print, internet, television, and radio, we had all those. Before the emergency manager came in, I had been voted for a 2-year contract to run communications, but we didn't get that off the ground before he came. I'm still here.
Yeah.
And Duncan, I feel you when you say about the bullet wounds, but it makes us stronger.
Oh, yeah.
And all of us in this room can do it. Whoever started just videotaping, whoever gave comments, for the people who show up, and you know how many more people would show up?
Right.
How many young people and seniors?
They don't have to
We can
now,
ask,
though.
go back to
That's
coffee and
okay.
conversations. How are we gonna talk about harbor vision when we're not at the table and a lot of the property is right here in our community? How can we educate them about water? We got many different areas of water. We have the water plant, #1, which we must protect.
You got the wharf,
I'm sorry?
the wharf where the boats
The
come
wharf?
in and everything.
We
that
have-
We're not talking about, but
Ox
everybody else is.
Creek.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about our
That's
drinking
it.
water.
Yeah.
But guess what? Even with our drinking water, it's about the homeowners having the proper pipes.
Yeah.
People don't know it's not all about the city. Then we're talking about in front of Whirlpool, that's MDOT. I met with State Senator, United States Senator Lozada, who also explained MDOT, that's their
That's
challenge.
your baby.
But people don't know that.
That's
There
why I
goes
couldn't
the city.
figure out.
We know.
This is where a dedicated person who's here to help with community, to help with the council, start with assessment. In our assessment department, 2, 3, times a year, our residents who are homeowners can go in if they think their property taxes are too high. But the people who know about it, they definitely go. And then, once they are denied, they bypass us and go to the state to have their taxes lowered. Why are we not doing it?
Look,
Because we're not letting
tribunal,
people
it
know
just-
about these meetings.
They're
Just
not gonna do
think
it
if-
for us either.
Just think if more people in this community, basic residents and some of the smaller businesses, did not want to or could afford to pay their taxes and went through the tribunal
Well,
to
right.
get where would that
Exactly.
put us though when it comes to the city
Well,
services
you know
that
what
need
it
to be
does?
taken care
It's
of?
not that they may not get
I'm just saying,
now,
though,
but the
big business.
businesses are, the ones who can afford it.
Yeah,
I can remember when I'm at my office late at night, when the press release came to me to say that this entity would no longer be used in the city of Benton Harbor's water. They could pay a water bill,
okay.
but Miss Johnson couldn't.
Mm.
Her husband died 2 years ago. She's on a fixed income. They put a deposit on the water and all that, but the company that could pay a
Mhm.
water bill left us.
Mhm.
But it's also how we can use that
Yeah,
like others have.
Yeah.
To be partners with other people,
Yeah.
with one voice, with Brothers Keeper, with your foundation.
Manchester bid
We can
well.
then say, let us be a part of that. We have a wonderful organization who's already on tune with that. So we don't have to run everything in this government, but we should be telling our own story.
Yeah.
This government should be telling their story. And telling their story in a way that we should get a list of who went to tribal. So our community knows about it. So all these years we've been here, I thank God for my blessings. But if I had people working with me, interns, stipends, then we can make more money.
Yeah.
Even when we haven't made more money, we're married. We didn't give up. We ain't closed down. We ain't shut up. It's the paper still rolling, and everybody. I don't even get to see my paper until I pay for it. I don't know if they made everybody blacker than black. Nothing. I have to pay all of this, and I have jeopardized that. I mean, my own income, so that this community would have a voice. So I think.
And I've jeopardized much more, but you just said something that makes so much sense. Because had it been in existence and we were telling our story and actually being transparent to the rest of the community, I probably wouldn't have almost 20 years worth of papers at my house that I'm getting rid of.
And in telling this story that we're talking about, telling our own story, I sure hope it won't ever be some buttered up version, some oatmeal and grits
Well,
type of a story about us. Like somewhat.
cornbread without the eggs and you
Yeah,
put it
that's
all
what's
up.
going on right now.
Well, when we're in control of what's being said, I mean, I've had the newspaper to write some horrible things about Benton Harbor, and I got them. I jumped on them and told them, what you want us to do, stop your subscriptions? Because we don't like the way how you projecting our city, how you trying to brand our city.
That was then and this is now, and they still do the
You know what I
same
found
thing.
out? You know what I found out about the media? And you might hear me say something real crazy to throw them off in between. And I hate that I leave others to have to read between the lines, but when I say something real stupid, I'm like, if they post it or put it on the radio or something, it's gonna make them look just as stupid. And they don't do it anymore.
No, they'd rather do it.
No.
So do you think this committee is going to make a stance today to start what we know could be a real movement and having citizens and stakeholders to know more about their community? I went to our website, there's some conditions there. When it came to the election, that should have been at the top. Our water situation should be at the top. And not everything's there. Excuse me, some of the links are not working. Every day things will be improved,
About the city's website?
And then it's kind of confusing. If you look at the city's website versus our domain, madams@cityofbentonharbor.mi.gov. If you go to bentonspiritnews.com, that's my website, that's my domain. Your domain on your email address after the @ isn't even the city of Benton Harbor. There's an error there. Something's wrong. Your website.
Somebody else is messing with mail
It's a
too.
different name altogether that would throw people off. When you go to your Facebook page, go to the Facebook page. There's not much about all these important things that are happening with your Wednesday meetings, with your election, with your assessment, with your finances, all these, the city manager's office, public works. It's all about one entity. And so when does an entity get to be the city of Benton Harbor?
Exactly.
Just go there. I don't want to say any names, but I did my research before coming here. Go and look at that Facebook page. The city of Benton Harbor's Facebook page. So other people can start Facebook pages, just like websites. But that's why you see a lot of companies have, this is our official website. So the city, when I say all of this,
City of Flint got them.
it's about what we can do by having a strategic plan that is spearheaded and led, that you guys get to now, I don't use the wrong words, throw at, but be able to say, this is something we would like to see implemented. Instead of it just never leaving this chamber. When I say leaving this chamber, I mean this Wednesday and even Monday meetings. You know, we have board vacancies. We need to know about it. There's still another election coming up. What is an absentee ballot? When can you prepare for it? I mean, I'm just thinking of the things, the clerk's office, she has so much information. And then we go to the other departments, public works under the city manager, you know, parks and recreation. Yes, there should be.
Things are gonna get better now because people have really got to work.
That's why I'm saying this one person can spearhead this for the community. And everything they're doing, press releases, and there has to be a process, you know, where it channels through. I believe, I came here for the water, I came here for the Benton Spirit, for the page, to show you guys, you had one a couple of years ago, but every department had what news that was happening in their community, if there was anything upcoming. If not, they waited for the next one. And, you know, every department could put what was happening. Then you had a list of contact information, and then you had a list of scheduled meetings. And I can see the city doing that 2 pages a month, you know, easily.
What happened to your?
You say Benton Harbor, Michigan? There's nothing there other than just page transparency.
Right. You know, City of Benton Harbor, MI.gov. Go to
Oh, on
that.
Facebook?
No,
Oh, no. Oh, okay, you're talking about the city website, okay.
Right.
I thought you were talking about the Facebook page.
go to Facebook. It's the City of Benton Harbor page.
I'm there.
While we're talking about transparency, through the chair, I like to, I don't know how it happened, or maybe I'll never know how it happened or why, but I noticed that the window on the city manager's door was changed. And I can look in there, I can see everybody in there. And I thought that was the greatest thing, just walk by there. Because, you know, it was, at one time it was like that, and everybody was busy at all times, and they were moving around, and you could just come. What I would like to see, to attach that, to make that whole hallway look the way it looked at one time, is you got the mayor, city commissioners on the door. They'll put us in step with a
You're
really,
just a little ahead of yourself.
I want to be ahead of myself.
Wait until the after election and then we'll
No, even now
No,
is the
no,
perfect
it's not,
time.
it's not the fight now, Mr. Dunn.
Okay,
There's too many other things, we're trying to get,
that's a fight.
yes, it is a fight. So, I'm letting you know that that's not gonna happen until after the election. Right now, we really wanna function on.
Yeah, because you might have somebody to replace me that may not agree with you.
I don't understand none of that.
Just saying.
But I'm
Well,
just,
what I'm saying is, we hear that and, but it's not gonna happen till after the election. But I really want us to focus on the things that, some things that, and I'm talking to us three here because we need to start writing things down for citizens in our letter
Right.
to them. Simple things like, you gotta move your trash can off the front lawn. You
Well, you
can't.
send a letter, but that's where the page had been spared.
Yeah.
So under ordinances,
Mm-hmm.
you let them know
Exactly.
that there's an ordinance, blah, blah, blah.
That your trash can
Right.
cannot, it goes
It
out
talks
such and
about
such hours
Our
before.
trash can,
Yeah,
it talks
All of
about,
this stuff is new to a lot of people.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is, because they come from other communities.
Well, some, a few.
I mean, I had to ask my neighbor, I said, do you know that you can't burn wood in the city of Benton Harbor? He back there burning wood, he throwing wood on top of it.
You're doing what they think they can get away with.
No, he didn't know, but when I told him, he said, oh, I'm so sorry, I just moved here from Benton Township. Of course, Benton Township let them burn.
Okay,
So,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
yeah.
So now, we could
That
do
would be helpful.
3 ordinances at a time,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Trash pickup, now the
Yeah.
leaves are getting ready to happen.
Right.
You know, if you need bags, where to get them, how much they
Now,
cost,
you
you
know,
can call up the gutters.
we've addressed these type of issues over the past 2 years since we've been back in local control. And I thought the mission was to take back what's rightfully ours. When the trash came back closer to the city, Black Minority Company, that this city would work with them, but it seemed like we had somebody in charge that was setting them up for failure. Because as surely as city of South Bend can set aside an empty, vacant piece of property for their trash people or leaf people, I don't know if they're the same or 2 different entities within their government, but they have a place where these people can get to just put the leaves because it's combustible. It makes worms. It deteriorates back into soil, which makes sense. That would be a help to even us if we took back over. If the city took back over the trash,
Already,
that would be the thing to do. And then not only that, communicating with people. I'm like, I'm looking at my sister like, why you not down there saying something? Because I can't say nothing. You fussing at me. I ain't had nothing to do with nothing. Y'all just don't know. And then nobody else say nothing.
but Commissioner Henry, that's my point. It doesn't go anywhere outside this room, not just for this
Y'all
meeting,
call hell.
other meetings.
Other meeting,
And
meeting
this
after
is
meeting after meeting.
communication. So we need a strategic person. Number one, you have the ordinances there. Number one, now you talk about the environmental concerns. When people understand the why,
Mm-hmm,
that's educated.
mm-hmm.
You know, we can start an environmental page in the Benton Spears.
Good.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
I wanna hook the recycling program up with that.
There you go. And then I'll come Wednesday and talk about the soil, Benton Harbor Soil
Yeah.
Shop that's coming up in September.
Yeah.
I'm outside here in Benton Harbor.
So
Where
you
all
said-
your soil can be tested and blood tested by certified people, totally free of charge.
Water too?
We're getting to water, but that's coming too. Right now, they're doing just the soil.
But you know the history of Benton Harbor, and what they used to do is to tear the houses down and push them all in the basement and cover them up.
That's exactly why.
And that's what they did for years
Yeah.
and years
Each
and
and every
years.
one of
It's a
you
lot
can
of-
go and get you a plastic bag.
Yeah.
You can go and dig your soil. You'll bring it here on the 11th of the farmer's market of September. There will be a booth out there with certified people. It's spearheaded with Andrews, DEQ, EPA, all these organizations. And you can also be tested for blood. Dr. Padma cannot be here on Wednesday, unfortunately, but she is the chair of the environmental department at Andrews University. And she's the one that did the research to show how in Benton Harbor,
Yeah.
the black men are dying. She's the one that discovered that.
Okay,
research.
now Dr. Todman will be here as well Wednesday, so I'm glad that you will be here.
This Wednesday.
Yeah,
She
but
gonna be here, but you're gonna be at the farmer's market.
no.
No,
I'm on
she-
her
she
agenda.
has-
Oh, you on
The farmer's market will be closed.
Oh, okay, you're on
Wednesday's,
her agenda.
Planning economic development.
Okay.
So this will be good, and you can have an opportunity to see what she's presenting. But from what I have learned from other sources, but you didn't hear from me, some of the stuff that she's presenting came from somebody else
I bet she
that
ain't got
did
no
the work.
She ain't got no solution, she just got the problem. She repeats that
Look,
stuff every 3
Let
years.
me get this off my chest. I finally have a grant writer.
I was gonna say,
Okay, I finally have a grant writer, and she basically just said, Commissioner Adams, I hope that I can be upfront with you, and I'm like, I wouldn't have it any other way. I have watched the strategic players all around everything that goes on. And they say it's inclusive, and I just saw the citizens of Benton Harbor left out, and I just want to help, and girl, I started to cry. Like, where you been? She been on my wall, on my vision board underneath some papers over here. And I found it. Oh, Godspeed.
Well, now that we got a new head in the department, we got a new day here, and we're gonna count on him to to lead us,
Yeah,
guide us in our own vision.
Mhm.
Because we got about 5 or 6 resolutions on the floor
I mean, cause
That-
not
that was
everything
passed
is,
by the body.
I mean, some
And
things.
it- so
just
those
have-
things need,
Oh.
those are wish lists. That's our wish list. And you got something that you wanna talk about? I already got you, Mr. Biles.
So Mr.
Thank
Bo-
you.
Mr. Byers, you want, what you saying too, so you want us, the city, to use
How
the
you gonna-
newspaper as a communication tool,
Yes.
like we having, whatever we talk about in committees, or we can
Good stuff.
So
inform you to put in your newspaper.
then your assessor has a column, if it's appropriate, because I don't know what all they do outside of the board of review. Your clerk, now she has something to remind people about the upcoming election,
Mhm.
to remind people about the absentee ballots,
Mhm.
to remind people of whatever she chooses. There may be an RFP out, there may be whatever. And now we go to the city manager. Your police department can have something telling people this is the 800 number website to go to for if people want to talk about what they see that's going wrong in the community. They could talk about their event that they had to remind people. I didn't know they had. an
I mean,
event.
being a predominantly black community, why not have a paper that reflects more of our community?
So how we,
That talks
So,
about the good
there's-
things.
Years ago, we did do it.
I'm
Um,
sure it's a fee from the city.
yeah, there's a fee.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
He's the key.
fee,
Uh-huh.
and,
He's the key.
How many times a month? you pay?
so the first and third Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
So whatever is in print will also go on our website and will be shared on Facebook.
Okay.
And then everybody can share it too.
How long, is that in your archives forever? On- on-
I want to change our website, but it's kind of hard because the website I currently have had for 15 years,
Mhm.
I think I had it with them for 15 years. All of our stories are there.
That's wonderful though.
Yeah, you can go, just put your name in.
You have the city stuff in there, it's in there?
I was looking for it today because we put each article individually
Mhm.
so that when you're searching, you can find it. But sometimes we put a PDF, like that page for the city
Yeah.
was a PDF. So when you clicked on it, you got to see the whole page.
1619 made me think of that because it's wonderful. When I did so much research when I came on board, getting ready to run for office, because I was everywhere else. Brownfield Authority Board member and then the River Authority, before becoming commissioner. And then I'm like doing all this research when I could have just typed a certain something and came right into the knowledge of. You've been covering that type of stuff.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I want to switch, but they have everything, and I need someone that has, but so.
But will you still have the ability to archive?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's more to the stuff,
Okay.
because you have to have a database,
Okay.
website, not one of these bricks or something. It's a one that can keep all your information unlimited, so I have unlimited storage and everything, which is a good
What
thing.
you think, Chair, about the?
For the page,
I think that I can submit my information as far as the letter.
Yeah.
She got the expertise. So if it's something you want to say about your ward, or something you
So
want
how
to
we
say,
had it set up when we were weekly, and I praise the Lord, it's gonna be weekly again soon.
Yes.
So Ward 1, 2, 3, 4. The first week was Ward 1,
Oh,
and an at-large commissioner. Second week, 2 at-large, 3 at-large, 4 at-large.
nothing new.
Right, but then it was also the city department, so it's the way we have a template set up. And some weeks,
One
not.
page.
Being
There's
transparent.
a deadline, and a lot of people didn't meet the deadline. Actually, I would come here physically and go to each department, you know, just like we can get Jane Clark Park passes. We can get discounts to Harbor Shores.
Yeah.
The property tax bill just came out in July, it's due in September. People need to know that, you know, they need to know their taxes are due. And, I mean, I can throw out so many things that's going on in this government, and now think about the new things that are happening.
Right.
To be certain, and you know what I thought of when it comes to that? Some of our own partners could be paying for this.
Oh, yeah.
Why can't Kaylin, no sponsor the youth page, or a stipend for this youth we talking? Why can't Albemarle? Why can't Pearson Construction? Let's name some more. It never really, for them to see something, a real deliverable,
Look,
that this
we'd love for you to sponsor our local, Benton Spirit. When they come, stand right here.
And their logo and name is at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
We believe in the city of Benton Harbor.
Yep,
Sponsored by, blah, blah, blah.
yep.
You know, why would they not? They would.
I'm
They just
waiting
need
to
someone
see.
to explain to them
Mhm.
what this means, why it's important. Not ready, what do you get out of it?
I'm
You
testing
know,
them, but you just named a couple
And
of
if it
more.
comes from here,
Yeah,
it's a tax write-off.
you just named a couple of more that I need to drop one off to, the packet for my brother's keeper summit. And it's going to One Love Global because they're taking care of everything financially and just making sure that the venue and everything is taken care of. It takes a load off of me, being just one person, because nobody else makes themselves available, but we ain't gonna even go
But
there.
that's where you have partners. This is, who said it? Here we are.
Yeah.
We can make this happen, make this work.
Well, I wish that more people would have
Yeah,
shown
when
up
we
today
start doing-
because I needed email names and numbers for an advisory board and a board of directors for this financial institution that we need to put together, as well as, Black Chamber of Commerce. And I see the same people. But see, when I go and they see some white people sitting on the board, don't say nothing to
You know
me.
what I've come to, I've learned from our ancestors, is that we just gotta do what we have to do. You know
Yes,
what, for the most part, people wanna be part of a winning team,
yes.
and they're gonna see you doing, and then they wanna come on board. The haters are gonna still hate, they're not going anywhere.
Look,
But we, you know, we don't even notice them.
it is nothing that I haven't been involved with or spearheaded down here that hasn't won or win.
And when you put Christ
Okay?
in the mix and put him first, you don't worry, you let him take care of all of that.
I am not.
Let go, let God. And let's just do what we need to do.
It's gonna work out.
That's right.
Godspeed.
Well, we gave our city manager a earful.
Yeah.
He got a whole sheet of paper in there, he just wrote. So, let's see.
Yeah.
What he comes up with, what his expertise comes up with. We got our own suggestions, but
Which
Looks like
realistic and
looks like we got some workers too. And that makes a big difference.
And we don't mind working when we're not. This door has been closed to me so many times. I'll send all of you commissioners, the email I
I
sent.
already
You'll
know.
get-
Regarding the water.
You'll
already
get
know.
the same feedback from a couple commissioners because of personal issues. So, but
Damn them.
the body,
Amen.
the body is together. We're
It's easy
together
to
on
change
the
your mind
matter.
and air on like that.
And Commissioner Singleton wanna say something.
Why is that air up so high? It's cooler outside.
Well, you know,
That's how you close the meeting down real fast.
since we started this
Okay,
communications, since we started the communications, committee some time ago, you know, we've been begging about, you know, the communication problem that we have, the lack of communication, and we've been hollering for what,
Yeah,
at least four that I know of, probably longer.
and he's shown more respect
Yeah.
than just being here.
I believe that, it was a orchestrated effort on keeping information
It was.
from,
Organized crime at its
Yeah.
best.
Why do you
Brother,
think we
shit
didn't
on
have a camera and stuff?
we had to fight for that, you know, I mean, we just had to.
I went and bought a
really-
Mevo. I
Simple.
said, I'm gonna fix this. I'm going to donate my Mevo and set it right up in that corner.
I have one more thing to add to whoever implemented the camera. We can't stop here. There are too many organizations out here. Brownfield, Airport, Southwest Michigan Planning, Weatherization, that organization that's supposed to be helping people, low income. When they have their monthly, weekly, or whatever board meetings, we should have a camera right there. That's what this person would be spearheading. Whoever set that up, we need you to join, whoever did it. You come.
He can't, we got to have
We
volunteers.
gotta-
That's okay, it's a volunteer, but at least now we have an action plan.
But you,
This is what we're doing, that person can go and do that. We need to hear what these other boards are doing. We need,
Because I don't go no more.
and when we go there,
I'm
we
tired.
need their agenda, we need their minutes, and we need their package, just like it's passed out here. That's brought back to this commission. But we also need everything they're talking about videotaped. And I don't see why moving forward that we don't mandate it to be videotaped, or,
Look,
let me finish please, or they're not paying our person who's a volunteer a stipend to do it. Because it serves the best interest of whoever it is, Berrien County, multiple municipalities, and what they're doing. When's the last time we heard the airport authority?
Never will.
What we had is,
Yes, you will.
we fought.
Oh.
oh,
Okay.
you been,
Yeah, we fought, and then we finally got the little thing there, but it was controlled by the police department, which I'm sure they have a whole lot of things to do other than,
sitting there,
but they wanted to hold up, they wanted to be the ones with all, control all the tech, all the video and all that stuff, which I don't think it should be that way, we suggested volunteers, we suggested internships and everything, but it all got thrown to the wayside because it was a control thing.
Dismiss.
But I think now, since that problem is taken care of, that we can.
now
move forward.
Do you think it just comes to something that happened, that the volunteers just happened to have warrants for their arrest from 1980 something, and they don't come to this meeting anymore? Do you think that's just something that just happened?
And that's why I don't think that's the best department for.
but that's okay, but,
Because we all have made mistakes.
Exactly.
And God
From
forbid,
1989?
if you have done your time or whatever, or have warrants, I mean, there's things we can do.
Hallelujah.
We become the
that would be
people.
me.
I'm always hearing about people that have changed their lives. So with that being said, I'm just saying, that's another strategic plan item that we do. We now have our own employment agency. So who's to say that now we talk about the job bank? I was gonna start job seekers. Think about all the people looking for jobs. Why don't we videotape them and have them talk, blah, 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 and I have a degree in this, I have this.
Exactly,
Exactly.
exactly.
But let people see what they're getting. I'm just saying, these are just ideas out here. But now we have an organization here in this city, in the Welcome Center. Why don't we
Where?
have summer events going on in our community?
The
Or
Welcome
winter
Center.
events? When I had the Welcome Center on 82
Oh,
West Main
You said
Street,
when you
I
had,
was told we had to close it down and
Okay.
take Ben Harbor off the door.
no, you said
This body told
opportunity.
me I had to do that.
Okay,
And, but why don't we have our own Welcome Center? Have you thought about Southwest Michigan tourism? When's the last?
that's what I think
They
should happen with that
collect money
property
off
over there
our
by the
hotels
train
and motels.
station that the Brownfield owns would be the perfect spot for something like that.
So what it is?
They won't put a motel, you can't put a
The piece of
motel.
property that's right there by the railroad track that the Brownfield Authority Board owns.
You can put one of them blue buildings in.
But do you understand how much money is coming from the Harbor Shores Hotel? Do you know that there's a tax that goes to Southwest Michigan Southwest Michigan Tourism, that's on Pipestone?
Yes.
They're getting that money.
Oh,
They'll donate money or sponsor a program for LMC. I've gone to LMC and say, can't we diversify the entertainment you bring in? Okay, they haven't yet, time out, let's start our own. That's what the Welcome Center, we can have brown bag concerts, we have enough.
We don't promote ourselves.
There's so much we can do.
Exactly.
Remember, we used to make pot holders and keychains when I was a little girl? We can
Okay,
have young people doing things, we can have a board competition, just in getting people active and moving, bringing in health with your grant writer, we can start doing these things.
I went over to the county and I ran around here from the time the emergency manager got here, just probably up until the time that we went almost back and shortly after local control. Running around Ben Harbor with a camera, from Ben Harbor to St. Joe. St. Joe told me when I came in recording, because I used to go to their meetings too. So the commissioner that went last week for the first time, I hope she keep going. She gonna learn a lot, but they gonna tell me to turn my camera on. I'm like, this is my camera. And you mean to tell me I'm looking around like this with Sheriff Bailey sitting back there? And it should be recorded anyway, and kept recording.
They just thought they could bully you
I'm not the one to be bullied.
Make you
They can
stop.
see, look, they can see
You're talking
Jesus
about the
sitting next to
The
it.
county
recording system right there that's not being used. I don't know if it works or not.
I-
But it's the same thing.
Little boy must
We
have
have an
someone-
obligation, you've been stifled before, or maybe it just, you guys, you know, I'm just being real, you talk about it, but we're not being about
Yeah.
it. So let's start being about it.
Don't nothing come out of committee unless the city manager writes the rules that was changed in 2012 said. Only thing that can come, everything that comes into commission, through committee, has to have action. If it has action, no matter if the body says they don't wanna entertain it or not, it still gotta come to the body for commission to vote on. That's the new rules, those are rules that need to be changed, because those rules are to lean us towards a mayoral run government. That's all it is, and we need to change it. Cause
You
it's
sing to the
hindering us.
choir.
Big man?
You singing to the choir. I voted to eliminate it altogether and come back up with our own.
I'm new, it's my first time hearing this.
So
No,
it's a lot of
right.
stuff that's happened in the last 8 years that we need to correct, to put us back on the right footing to do our job.
Here's what we say about businesses. When we go in and stop utilizing their services, guess what? Now you have their attention.
Yeah,
Even
you
the
mess
same
with their
thing, what do you
pockets.
say about Reverend Pinckney? When Reverend
Okay.
Pinckney was out there doing MLK and so many others did, picnic, bringing awareness. Can we have a conversation with you, Brother Pinckney?
Oh, yeah, we put you
And he
in prison,
listens.
we'll put you in
You
prison.
know, but guess what? When we start doing for this community and making the community know that I don't care if it's a 5-4 vote, I don't care if it's 7-2,
Yeah.
that there are people here actually doing something,
Doing
you watch these residents come fighting for you. Remember the little old ladies used to be lined up here? Remember the people that would come out?
Yeah, they out in township, in nursing homes and everything, they actually got booted out of here by a whole lot of negative
We need to
stuff
fix
what was
that.
right up there.
We got too much
We
land.
can
We trying to
change
find
that.
some
And dwindled on
development money
down.
to
It's a
build
new
something.
day.
Just me standing
It's a new
there, I was
day.
in there with them old sisters.
And we have to hold the elected officials accountable. We just cannot let them bully or do the thing. As soon as you see one of us out of line, call us out. Because that camera is out there. I love it.
But the other part, and I'm gonna say it out of love, when we are in front of this camera and outside of this camera, we must be on our best behavior. We must speak, I've heard many in this room speak so intellectually, but then all of a sudden, I hear y'all here at the food, going crazy. It's like what I do with one of my
Y'all
brothers.
is
and
who?
stuff. So,
When you
I'm
say
just saying, we have
y'all
to,
who?
it's a new day, and we're talking about a new day, then it starts with each one of us.
Yeah.
Well, good. 'Cause
You
I'm
know,
gonna be-
But
Remember how I used to get a
Child, you just
But I
don't
do it
know.
behind the scenes,
Yeah,
so.
back in-
But-
Back in the day when
You
they
just
had
don't
it
know.
on.
There's two among us that can say the wrong thing, and before you know it, you ever watch the movie Snap?
I'm gonna say the right thing if God give me the strength, I'm always say the right thing.
But
And let the chips fall wherever they
I
may.
receive that. I receive that. I'm gonna
Think
work
back
on it.
So
when
you
the
won't
day
have to
when
fight as much.
when
Yeah,
Crenshaw.
y'all fighting. If y'all is fighting, then I won't have to fight.
Right.
I can enjoy my old age and go somewhere, but wasn't nobody fighting. They ran all the seniors out of here. Then they brought in the churches and they preachers and the congregations and left us out. And we still out. So I know it's another day. I know it's another day and time right now. But I put my faith in God and I put my faith in that man right up there, right now for the city of Benton Harbor.
And he'll be back in 2 weeks.
And I will be back in 2 weeks. I believe that he's gonna do what the citizens
Yeah.
need him to do to make things work. And that's why I haven't been saying much, because I do have faith in God and I do have faith in you guys and your decision making.
As
Because
long as
they
it's in
made
them.
the
Yes
decision.
or no?
When all the forces was against them, I could see them, it was like a chess game or something up there.
Mm.
Forces was.
They didn't
against them.
realize though that it was already won.
Well, it's always one when you got God on your side.
And you see in this communications meeting, that's all communicating.
Let's put a couple of things back on the agenda. Of course,
Let's get back to business.
when Clark comes back, he'll give us more updates on Channel 98 and the live stream. We didn't talk anything about the dangers of 5G, but I want to bring it to everybody's attention, and hopefully we can put it on the agenda. Please look up the dangers of 5G technology.
I have, Commissioner, can we do something to find out if in fact some entity or corporation has placed any of them in our community? If so, we need to know where they are. I'm telling you, some strange stuff going on physically with some people, and we need
Been
to,
going on.
well, something that's been going on,
What
but
we need to do is to follow other municipalities that have sued them and ask them to come and take that slow death out of their community. And we can do the same thing. Chicago right now is doing it. They got it, it's in court, and they're asking them because they have centralized their towers in certain neighborhoods.
I'm not worried about any other community with Ben Harbor being a 4 square mile, and we got this, the AT&T center right here. They have they have all we need to get fast speed of what we need right here,
Well,
broadband.
I just want us to do our research on the 5G and as every week, we're talking about this 5G, and we're gonna have some other people to come in and talk about it. As the legal process goes forward, we'll have something in our hands. I'm not sure about our legal and where they're gonna go, and if we can even demand that they do anything for us. But right now, other municipalities are doing it, and we need to have that conversation with everybody that you talk to. Let them do the research as well. So when it comes time that we say we don't want it, then we'll have everybody on the same page. Because that's where we are, because they said it's not on, and I believe them. But it also, several reports says they turn it on from the satellite, and it's on.
Mm.
So they're telling us that Comcast says, no, it's not on. But then everything that I read about it said they turn it on from the satellite. So talk to your neighbors and your family, and let's get as many people involved with this 5G as possible. And we're gonna do
That's
something
the One
about it.
Voice Now thing.
Well, we've been talking about this, I say about 10 months, 8 months, 6 months.
6 months.
I lose track of time, but no one talked about it. We're talking about it now, so that's what's most important, but we're not even talking about it enough right now.
Well,
So
it'll be the one in the mirror to talk about it.
the one in the mirror is talking about it. I'm gonna ask through the chair, have the city manager heard of this? Have you did any research about it?
You don't have to do that through the chair, that's crazy. The
Well,
man is sitting right there.
that's what you guys always
Nah,
say.
they do that. I don't do
That's
that.
the proper
But-
way
but-
of
but-
a meeting.
But those things may change with this meeting, Commissioner Henry.
What?
The way we're hosting this meeting
They tell
right
you
now,
one thing in one
that
meeting
may
and something else
change
in
and
another.
it will need
That's
to
what
be
we
more
are.
professional.
Well, whatever, this my
Okay, see,
chair.
that's what I was just talking
This
about.
my chair.
That's what we
Exactly.
do.
Y'all go ahead, talk to the city manager, you got
City
something to say
manager.
to him, say.
I'll just dismiss her out of this conversation and just ask, are we?
No.
Anyway,
No.
you heard my
He
concern.
didn't get chance.
I'll just leave it in your hands.
Okay.
I just wanted to make a comment. I'll send you all a tape from Dr. Kelly, Karen Kelly, who talks about the dangers of 5G.
Okay.
And then it's something that we can share too. if we are gonna have something, I think there should be a pro and con. Pros may not show up, but I think the citizens should be aware. Secondly, I wanna go to the first thing we talked about, Channel 98. We should be mindful that it's not just Channel 98. This city has Channel 97, 98, and 99 under Comcast. There should be a government access station, a community access station, and an educational access station. I brought in the gentleman from Chicago who have been working with intergovernment for Comcast for years. This was 10, 15 years ago, and that's when Green County Cable, remember, it was Green County Cable sold to Comcast. And so we had to review the contract, et cetera. So I had him to come in, and so it's not just 3 stations that Comcast, if I'm not mistaken,
You are right.
that Comcast should be, have for us to have access to. In addition to that, in other communities, Comcast has been buying equipment. I doubt if they've done anything, but you should check to see if they've given any money, to this municipality. There is, if you look on your Comcast bill, there is a municipality fee.
Yeah, it's $90-some thousand a year that they give back to the city.
Make sure you look at that, that's
Really?
$90-something thousand, where now we should not even be talking about a community director in just conversation. We should be voting for it to go to the next council. If there is $90-something thousand that comes from Comcast, we're not even talking about sponsorships and grants and
Okay.
donations. You know, there's $90,000. In addition to that, they also have helped communities.
Why?
They have a charitable arm as well, and they have helped communities with new equipment, with video cameras, with anything that's up to date.
I'd like to know why they say
It's
that.
not
Can I
Oh, y'all
ask you-
women,
Can I
come
ask
on.
you, we're going to get set up with a meeting with Comcast, and if I could let you know in plenty of time, and you go, because I know Streeter and you and all of us were involved in that 15, 20 years ago. And so this is gonna be a conversation of power. We're not gonna go in there, but Comcast, can you? do
Okay,
this?"
but
No, we're
why-
gonna tell them, because we know what the contract says.
why?
You've seen the contract. I know you have.
What brought about the contract? Because they used to be down here and they moved out of the community when the tax passed, well, before the tax passed, when they knew it was gonna pass. Why do they,
We have
Why
a
is there a
contract with
contract?
them
for what?
Still got the contract.
for, cable. That every citizen that,
Okay, they run lines through here. They have towers or something?
every citizen that have Comcast, they pay a certain amount of money back to us.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, and I'm listening because I've been asking questions about, the cell towers and things like that in the community of city manager, and how much they actually pay us, the city, to actually have their equipment on our land. And I was just trying to find out figures and stuff, and I never knew that, Comcast run wires through the city and they owe us. There's a contract.
They've been paying us.
Okay, so how long is the
Who's taking
contract?
that?
It started with Green Cable.
I said, how long is the contract? Is it
Until we dissolve it, or till we,
No, I think someone should look into it. The
Yeah, because if they're
contract is-
steadily putting wires
Because we
in,
can
and
put
they
an
should.
RFP out for someone
Well,
else.
and that's what I'm saying,
You
until we
know,
make a
so each
decision.
contract has a
A
expiration
deadline,
date, and we
this
should be
one,
looking
yeah,
at
this
that.
one
It
don't.
could be, you guys could be doing something miraculous right now by bringing it up.
Alright.
The deadline could be up in October.
And they've been just living free.
And because we didn't sign, or someone else signed, and never brought it back to this council.
Exactly.
Well, that's why I'm glad it's
Yeah,
women
we
in
will
city
be-
government, because men,
Some
and I'll
of y'all,
say,
just say
I'll
something.
say, most of us in this equation are not doing what you guys are suggesting.
We will have that
Problem
meeting, Mr. Davis, Priscilla, and we'll all go and have a real powerful discussion with Comcast. And then maybe,
can we get the
maybe we'll ask our city manager to go with us, because he's gonna
If
have.
it's not somewhere in a box. Okay. Cause I went through a whole bunch of boxes, taking microfilm, scanning.
Okay, well,
This is where the communications person comes in. Now, she's keeping check. There should be a network of calendars when contracts are expiring, where every executive branch manager, as well as yourself, have a code to go to that certain calendar, so you can see what's coming up. And there should be a 90-day prior alert.
With this new technology, I mean, if I could tell Siri to wake me up at a certain time,
So
or
with that
calendar.
being said,
I'm just
now
saying.
with this contract, the city manager, since I've been watching YouTube, thank you guys, there's a lot going on. You put a lot on one person.
Okay,
One person that you consider interim.
yeah,
One person that has to discover who's who. One person that had to, where every respective person could be doing every person be doing their respective
Yeah.
task. But, I mean, hey,
I
I
do
think he
mine.
likes it, so, but let's keep it real.
Papa don't take
How
no
much
mess.
can he do? And that's where someone who is qualified, someone who is dedicated, someone who will get it done, just what you guys are talking about. I would go to the appropriate department, I would look at other communities to see what Comcast has been doing. I would look at their charitable arm to see when their next RFP is out. I would look to see what they've been doing with equipment and whatnot. I would look at the contract, so there's something that the right person can do it.
yeah.
And now you're not just talking in a room.
That's why I asked you
There
about your
are-
archives and the 20 years of papers that I've been keeping, because when the emergency management came through, I think a lot of paper shredding happened. So it may very well be old contracts that he probably rolled out 94 with money in his back seat.
Well,
Can,
But-
Tracy, you help the city manager out with it?
Yeah, well, we gotta, like I said, it's a new day and we are working with a skeleton crew,
Yeah.
but that's gonna change as well. So, and Commissioner Adams wanted to put the community credit union, as a discussion.
No, ma'am.
You didn't wanna do that?
I didn't want to do that. I just asked you if I could show up here, and any citizen that may wanted to participate as a board member or board of director for the credit union or the Black Chamber of Commerce, that I would be here to take their name and information.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm sorry about,
That's
we
okay.
didn't get it taped, so that would've went out to a lot of people.
Oh, we're not taking.
No, we're not, because Clark is not here.
Now we can really talk.
I would, but wait a minute, are you sure?
So,
Everybody.
everybody really have those two things that Commissioner Adams, got on the agenda for discussion is very important to me as well as to the rest of the community. Credit union that we have ownership. But my problem is, when I speak of ownership, people with money don't wanna hear ownership.
You are.
But I'm saying that collectively, if I can get every person, 200, 300 people to give $1,000 and open a credit union, $1,000 per family, I bet you in this room right now, I could get $5,000 easily
Can I share this with you?
to start a credit
But
union.
is that something a government does?
Can I
But
share
look,
this with you?
Look, it's
That's how
not
citizens
something
do.
that normal government does, but we're a home rule community.
I'm not going through
And
all that.
what we have to remember in a home rule community is that we have the capacity to sustain ourselves. And that's in any way that we can.
That sounds real good, but, the grant writer, she knows where the money is and she's applying for it to start the foundation of the institutions.
Well, come on with it. There's plenty of grant
You
writers.
hold on to your housing.
We have so many talented people in this community, and all we have to do is to find a grant and tell them, to write that grant and write yourself a 10% administrative fee in it. They'll do it. And we got some ladies that was in this building before, they got pushed out or got early retirement,
Stay in the present.
that is ready. So,
Are they ready now?
yes, they're ready.
Where they at?
But we need to help them. They don't have the information about City Hall. They don't have the information about city, our finances, our whatever the EINs and all of that kind of stuff. So we have to bring them in and connect them to our person. That's how you do it, because they don't have the information that we need, that they
You know what
need.
we're talking about? What are we talking about?
We're talking about grant writers.
Oh, okay.
So we have to bring our own grant writers in, and we need to bring them in. We give them the grant and say, this is one grant that we want you to apply for. And especially,
It ain't gonna be that type party.
well, whatever way you wanna do it is your duty, you do
No,
it.
it's a
But when I
weekend,
say,
but
and when I say,
she's certified, she knows her job.
when I say we need a grant to bring in toy, kitty for the parks, they got grants for that. And all we gotta do is write it. Poor Ben Harbor, you poor little black Ben Harbor. They give us anything we ask for if we ask for it in the proper manner. So a grant people that have the money, foundation, people with money.
So I guess I would like to say I would like to join the chamber, especially since, you know, I was an executive board member for the former Michiana, Black Chamber of Commerce, and we had put together for Grand Harbor and South Bend. I think Juanita, we had one meeting, we had several meetings. I think you showed up at one. In South Bend, we would have anywhere from 50 to 200 people that showed up. We were able to have an office in South Bend. And then the main person who was retired, was helping, he came all the way here, that kayak place. He came all the way here, Glenn Williams, who's the president of the UAW in South Bend for years and then retired. He came here to see if I could get that building. They were gonna come in and clean it up and do everything. So that could be our next office at one point. But he was willing to do things, and he was helping another person, because he was really with contractors, to become a service master, what's the cleaning company? Franchise owner. And that guy never did it, and he did it, and now he owns 3 regions. So he's doing mega work.
South Bend's come in to help us, Detroit's come in to help us.
We have
Now Grand Rapids is here and helping us, but we have to get up off of our ducks and say, this is what we need to be done, and have staff do it.
I want to know if y'all being recorded, yes. You on air, right?
Are we on the air right now?
May I say something to the, city manager? I really need to apologize. I need to apologize to our city manager.
Well, do it on your,
I had a
do it on
conversation.
your own time, because right now.
This is about a grant writer.
Right now, I'm gonna talk about one other thing, and
Commissioner
everybody,
Henry,
anybody
this is
else
about-
wanna have a
this is about
conversation,
grant
and
writing.
what's
We
going
have
on.
got too much noise going on.
Excuse me, we're going to
This is
have
about a
any
grant
more
writer, Commissioner
conversation
Henry.
about anything that's on the
And
agenda.
that's why things are the way they are.
Then if it's on the agenda, you have some comments on it, otherwise we're gonna shut this meeting down. Do you have any comments on anything that's on the agenda?
So we're gonna make any movement on what,
We're gonna go,
by
we're gonna go and let Mr. Mitchell do his thing, come back and report to us, and then we'll go forward.
Okay.
We'll accept what he says or not. But he knows now that what we want, and that's his job. Thank God. We made a move. Yes, ma'am.
What are the board vacancies?
Hold on one second.
I would say, there's a lot of board vacancies, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
She said she has a list, I can get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure, how many is vacant, but we do have a lot.
Since I'm on the agenda, I have to think about that. Serving as a volunteer, community, public relations person, because that's something too that should be out there. Our vacancy should be on the wall, our bulletin boards. But sometimes it's just a matter of starting the process. And I believe, like the rest of you, that our new city manager can do this. But I also know that, where is he? Where is Harold Hampton? It takes a team to make a dream work. Anyway, we always used to say that, but that's okay. He used to say that, and it's something that has stuck with me because it does take a team. And if we're talking about growing, right now, this body, this staff is looking to sustain. They're looking to now have a voice and do what they're capable of doing or whatever else you guys have been discussing even prior to the YouTube meetings. But now we're talking about growth. And so I don't think I'm out of order in requesting this body, but I am willing to be patient to see what the city manager has to say about the community relations part. This isn't something new that I've come before this body. Before the city manager, I came before this body when it was Ellis Bite and Streeter and James, Sims and some others. At that point, if there are records, I was given a 2-year contract to do this. So when I'm coming talking about water, I went to the former city manager, and I'll send you guys all the email about what we can do to educate people about our water situation and preventive water measures. And that was September or October of 2018, before this city manager. So I'm coming back before this body. Again, with communications, we're trying to get the television stations going. I used to actually, there was a team of us. Back then, we did PowerPoint. It wasn't digital and MP4s and all that the way we have it now. We did PowerPoint with Hosea Turner and Jane Bergman Hess and our crew at 82 West Main to have things on Channel 98. That's why I know there's 3 stations. And I can also submit a proposal or with research as this entity outside of the Benton sphere, but I think we should be inclusive of all news media and not just Benton sphere. But I think we should be mindful, $3 versus $2. It's very important for our residents. Not a limit when you can go to a website. But there is something about the power of the day's newspaper. As much as people talk about it, some may say, what is she saying? I'm just saying there's a need for a day, but they must be fair. And there must be equality in that market as well. But there's more. There's social media. There's what he's saying, going to our residents. We call it in our newspaper, take them to the streets, where now we go and ask them questions. When he's talking about, let them come back to this body and say, these are what the seniors had to say. There's so much we should be doing and we could be doing and we will be doing. But I think now is the time to act. And if there's actual funding that has been coming in from communications, we can see where that funding has been going.
They've been using it for general fund, but it's a new day. Things are changing. Our priorities are changing. Our priorities are changing.
Who's?
The city's priority is changing.
I can't speak for the city.
Okay, well, I can speak for 5 people, and that's all we need, is 5. So I can speak for 5 people, 5 elected officials that priorities have changed in Benton Harbor.
I have to say this. I have a grant writer that I need to know if in fact it's okay that she works with our Planning Economic Development Director. She's helping out as much as she possibly can. And Miss Angela Austin Waters of One Love Global, she got funding from Mott Foundation. And I need to correct myself because I assumed when she was telling me that good news, I may have gotten excited and thinking that she had went, her and her team, to help out. But she's looking into seeing if anything is available that they can come in and help us and train us how to do that paperwork.
Don't go yet. I want to just say, for the commissioners, I tried to schedule meetings with each of you, and I had one with Commissioner Adams the other day. And when we started this meeting, I could have sworn you guys must have had my office bugged. Because we were talking about that, weren't we?
Yes.
And I was getting.
Yeah, your office is bugged. We stand outside and point it up to the window.
I'm talking about each of you because we had a discussion about this. And it's already to be had with each of you individually when I meet with you.
Great, great. See that? New day, guys. All right, any more comments about anything on the agenda? Okay, but hearing none? Oh, wait, okay.
So are we, go out and get, as Mr. Myers said about a person, outreach person?
I have some information for you. I meant to bring that stack of papers.
We're gonna be looking at that, but we're gonna let our city
Overlook.
manager put the plan together first. But yes, my thought is to go to Benton High School and pull out a junior and senior and bring them down here and let them do their thing. If we give them a stipend of $20,000 and $25,000 every time they have a meeting, guess what they're going to be? Sitting in a meeting, getting educated about their government. And believe me, young people, they're gonna ask questions. And they're probably asking questions that make our old heads swim. Where did they get that from? So, next is in his hands, and then it comes back to us.
And warranty, so the website, will the website start having, different places about, you can get, where you can get your free badge for leads and all that good stuff?
We gotta talk about the website, but when I see the, money being spent on the website, and I do believe it's 3 entities, he gonna have to look at that, because something is wrong. There's a dead cat hanging on the line somewhere for us to pay that kind of money and get that kind of service that we have, that the website don't go anywhere, don't have no connection. Something's got to be done with it. So
Yeah, that should have.
that is, he's already looking into that.
Yeah, it should have
I've already met with him.
We already met with him.
Mr. Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Myers spoke of taking it to the streets. Can we do that little?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I have a couple of videos I'd like.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, how do I get the videos to y'all's attention?
Well, right now we gotta find some way to play it, other than Facebook and Instagram.
I got the videos. I'm saying.
If we play it on channel 98, but we have to wait till we get channel 98 up there.
Come see me.
Okay.
So, yes, oh my goodness, what a blessing. Come see me.
Okay. I will.
Any more comments? Meeting is adjourned. Everybody go home and eat.
Please stop shooting that photograph.
I request.
I will see you
But the baby is under.
this week.
Go home, eat.
And then we ask you this one question.
I have to eat, watch out here, because I have, that's why we so anytime, you have to be home to the time. Work and went home, and showered and ate and come down here, and it seemed like I said, I guess I did better.
What you get?
What else did you say? Still?
Okay, let's go.
What's with that camera?
I don't know what.
Turn it around. Take pictures out of there. Walk over to the right.